sound of low rumble, faint crackle of thunder far away beneath the calm surface of our everyday lives. Immense powers are always at work. They shape continents, carve oceans, and sculpt the very landscapes we call home. Sometimes they reveal themselves suddenly, with terrifying violence. Other times they whisper slowly, carving change over centuries. But whether loud or silent, these extremes remind us, Earth is alive. Imagine standing before a volcano as it awakens. The air grows heavy, the ground trembles, and then the mountain explodes in fury. Rivers of lava glow red against the night sky, rolling forward like molten rivers of time. Ash towers into the heavens, turning day into night. One eruption can alter global climate for years. When Krakatoa erupted in 1883, the blast was heard thousands of miles away, and sunsets around the world glowed red for months. Volcanoes destroy cities, yet over centuries, their ash creates fertile valleys where life thrives. In destruction, creation takes root. But the earth does not only breathe fire. Beneath our feet, tectonic plates grind endlessly against one another. For decades, centuries, they remain locked. Then suddenly they slip. An earthquake. The ground surges like waves. Bridges twist. Skyscrapers sway, as though they were reeds in the wind. Some quakes are so powerful they shorten the length of a day by altering Earth's rotation. The 2011 Japan quake shifted the entire island by several feet, and the tsunami it unleashed raced across the Pacific. A reminder that the solid ground beneath us is anything but permanent. From the sea comes terror of another kind. When the seafloor convulses, it displaces an unimaginable volume of water. That water becomes a wall, a tsunami. It charges across the ocean faster than a jetliner. At landfall, the sea itself rises up, swallowing villages, ports, entire coastlines. What was familiar one day can vanish the next, erased beneath churning waves. And when the waters recede, silence follows, heavy, suffocating, unforgettable. But not all extremes are sudden. Some creep forward with patient cruelty. Walk into the vastness of a desert and you will feel it. The weight of the sun pressing against your chest. The endless wind carving dunes like frozen waves. The Atacama Desert can go decades without rain, yet it bursts into bloom after a rare storm, its barren fields painted with flowers. The Sahara, once lush grassland, now stretches across Africa as an ocean of sand. Dust storms rise like mountains, blotting out the sun, traveling thousands of miles to settle on distant continents. Deserts are places of absence, yet they are also places of survival where life invents miracles just to endure. Now journey to the frozen edges of Earth. In Antarctica, silence reigns, broken only by the groan of glaciers and the roar of katabatic winds. Temperatures here plummet to -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, so cold that exposed skin freezes in moments. Metal itself grows brittle. Yet beneath miles of ice lie hidden lakes untouched for millions of years, where ancient microbes wait in the darkness. At the opposite extreme lies Death Valley, where summer air can scorch at 134 degrees Fahrenheit, and the ground temperature can bake above 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Here, water vanishes before it touches soil. Yet kangaroo rats survive their entire lives without a sip of liquid, and creosote bushes endure years of drought. From ice to fire, life bends but does not break. Sound of sudden cracking, deep roar of shifting earth, and sometimes the land itself collapses. Sinkholes open without warning, swallowing cars, houses, entire neighborhoods. Vast caverns hidden below remind us that solid ground may be nothing more than a fragile shell. Far more terrifying are the supervolcanoes. Yellowstone hides beneath it, a chamber of magma so vast it could darken skies across the globe. When such giants erupt, they do not just scar a continent, they change the planet itself. Ash blots out the sun, temperatures plunge, ecosystems collapse. These are events measured not in centuries, but in epochs. Though dormant now, they remind us of the immense forces slumbering beneath. Yet for every display of terror, Earth offers wonder. In the night skies of the north and south, ribbons of green, violet, and crimson swirl across the heavens. The aurora borealis and Australia's born from solar winds colliding with our atmosphere. For millennia, humans saw them as omens, spirits, messages from the gods. Science tells us they are charged particles painting the sky, but their beauty remains otherworldly. And then, the moment when day becomes night, a total solar eclipse. As the moon slides across the sun, shadows race across the land at hundreds of miles per hour. Birds fall silent, stars appear at midday, and the hidden corona of the sun blazes like a celestial crown. For those few minutes, time itself seems to pause, as if the universe reveals its delicate balance. Look now to the melting edges of our world. Glaciers, once silent and eternal, thunder as they crack apart. Icebergs the size of cities collapse into the sea. Rivers form where once there was only frozen stillness. These changes, accelerated by human influence, are reshaping coastlines and raising seas. What once seemed immovable is vanishing before our eyes, and from warmer oceans, monsters are born. Cyclones, hurricanes, typhoons, different names, same fury. They roar across seas, their winds screaming at over 150 miles per hour. Rain falls in torrents. Storm surges drown entire communities. Katrina, Haiyan, Sandy, names etched into memory as symbols of vulnerability. Each storm a reminder of our fragile defenses against the might of nature. But extremes are not always visible on the surface. Deep beneath the ocean, hydrothermal vents spew boiling water into the abyss. Here, in crushing darkness, life thrives without sunlight. Creatures with shimmering scales and alien forms cluster around pillars of heat, drawing energy from chemicals instead of the sun. In the strangest of places, life finds a foothold. Consider the creatures of extremes, microbes that survive radiation 1,000 times greater than what would kill us. Insects that live encased in ice for years, thawing back to life in spring. Fish that glide through the crushing depths of the Mariana Trench. These extremophiles are teachers' reminders that survival belongs not to strength, but to adaptability. And what of us, humans? We are fragile, soft, vulnerable, yet we build towers that sway with earthquakes, walls to hold back the sea, machines to warn us of approaching storms. We study volcanoes, chart glaciers, and peer into the trembling crust. Our ingenuity is our resilience. We cannot control the earth, but we can learn to live with it, to prepare, to adapt. Still, the lessons grow sharper. As climate shifts, storms grow fiercer, deserts spread wider, glaciers retreat faster. The warnings are not subtle anymore. They come in floods, in wildfires, in heat waves that challenge the very breath in our lungs. The extremes of Earth are no longer distant curiosities, they are the headlines of our present. Sound of storm subsiding, gentle wind, distant birdsong. In the end, Earth speaks one truth: survival does not belong to the strongest, but to the most adaptable. Mountains will rise and fall, seas will advance and retreat, skies will burn, freeze, and blaze again with color. Through it all, life persists, and in that persistence, we find hope that we too may endure, that we too may adapt, and that in respecting the planet's extremes, we may secure our own place in its story.